Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video we'll be going over the 5 studs from the Washington Commanders training camp this off season. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. And huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video and the entire 2024 to 2025 NFL season. They got the best and fastest payouts in the industry. We'll talk about them later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But training camp, we're kind of in the middle of it, beginning middle of it. We have a preseason game coming up next week. We also got a joint practice with the Jets coming up in 6 days, I believe 5-6 days. So excited about that. And we've gotten some news about some of these players. We're starting to get consistent news, and it's not just 1 or 2 3 days. We're like on day 7 right now, maybe day 8. I believe it's day 7 though. Doesn't matter though at this point. We've got enough evidence from some of these guys that have been balling out. And let's go over 5 studs from training camp. There's been more than 5 studs, but the number one guy, it's not even in order. We're just going 5 guys. But Brandon Coleman, made a video about him the last 2 days actually. Yesterday wasn't fully about him, but did talk about him, and the day before that was a video on maybe the Commanders found their franchise left tackle, so check that out. But he's been good. Dan Quinn says that Brandon Coleman has stood out for him at the O-line. He's a 3rd-round rookie, and he's been starting at left tackle for them. And it's not like they have bums behind him. Like they have, like Cornelius Lucas is a starting caliber tackle in this league, a very good backup. He's at least a good backup and has started games in this league. So if Brandon Coleman wasn't ready, they wouldn't be playing him. And there was a day, actually it was yesterday, where him and Sam Cosmi went undefeated in the 1v1s. So they got the best of the defensive linemen there. So that's huge. And especially for Sam Cosmi when he's going up against Deron Payne and John Allen. For Brandon Coleman, the joint practices, and I have seen some of your guys' comments, they are going to be telling, because they're going to be going up against better defensive linemen and some better edge rushers. And the Jets have a very good defense, so that's going to be a huge test for Jaden Daniels in general. But Brandon Coleman's been a stud and has had a pretty good training camp so far. Let's go next guy. We'll do a 2-1 here. Terry, like usual, has had a good training camp, a bunch of big catches. He's been connecting with Jaden Daniels pretty well. Had a nice one-handed catch today along the sideline in 11v11. And Jaden Daniels had a pass to him. Let's see. I have one clip I want to show you guys. And I do want to show you guys clips while I talk about this. So this is Jaden Daniels throwing a deep ball to Terry, who is on Forbes. Is a little bit behind him, but hey, it was completed. It was a solid pass, and he put it where Terry could get it. And that's something that, again, I like Hal, but he did not do that enough last year. And he would either not throw it deep to Terry, or he would overthrow it and not give Terry a chance. At least in this, I trust Terry to at least break it up and prevent the interception. But he also has a chance to come up, or come down with it. And that's what he did here. He was a little underthrown, but I like the mentality here by Jaden. And it still wasn't a bad ball. We look at it. It's a little behind him, but not super behind him. He just had to turn around a little bit. It's a good pass. And again, it's being able to get your guys the ball like that, especially Terry, is something he really wanted last year and he wasn't getting. And you saw Jacoby Brissett go in, and that changed a little bit. So Jaden's already getting that, so that is good. But we'll have to see it in games. But Jaden's had a good camp as well. Let me pull up the Josh Taylor tweet. Shout out to him, who's been basically every Commanders training camp practice. But Jaden, at least the last few days, has been stacking days together. The first 2 or 3 days of training camp seems like he had a good training camp. Then after that, the next 2 were kind of like the mid. They were okay, maybe average, maybe 1 or 2 days that were below average. And it seems like the last few days he's really stepped it up and stacked some more good days together, which is very good. Very good to hear for sure. So he's been very good, and he continues to show out for the Washington Commanders. And real quick, a word from today's sponsor.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
If you guys click the first link in the description, it'll bring you guys to this page. and you guys can make a first-time deposit, and you'll get 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. So check it out, link in the description. Okay, so back to the video. So like I said, first guy was Brandon Coleman, and Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin have had very good camps. Terry's not surprising, but I feel like some people forget about him, and he deserves his flowers, and I think people around the league are starting to forget him, and I think, I hope this year that Jaden and him pick it up and, start something special here. And I want, Terry to get the respect he deserves. Is he a top 5 receiver in this league? No, I don't think so. But I think even some Commanders fans don't think he has top 10 potential. And I think that with a good quarterback and a good offense around him, he can be a top 10 receiver. I think he can get 1,300 yards. So we'll see this year what happens. But I'm happy he's balling out, and he's a great guy, great teammate, great guy to have around the organization, and hopefully he's here for the rest of his career. Let's keep it going. Frankie Louvu is the only defender on this list. There's a couple, but other guys that have stood out, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'll do my honorable mentions and stuff. But Frankie Louvu has been fast, has been quick, and I'll show you guys some clips. I'm trying to show you guys clips so you guys can see Frankie Louvu there. I guess that's Bobby Wagner. Here's Frankie Louvu. Looks quick there compared to Bobby. Not saying he's better than Bobby, but just they did the drill a little bit differently. Frankie Louvu is also way younger. But Frankie Louvu has been very quick. Takeaway from days 1 to 6 of Commanders training camp, Nikki Javala said Frankie Louvu is fast as you know what. And for Nikki to say that, that's she usually doesn't cuss, so for her to say that is, it's big. And yeah, he's been quick. He's been forcing some fumbles, recovering some fumbles, blowing up some plays. I saw him blow up a play when I was there at training camp. I think he's going to be very good. We got him under contract for 3 years. Very excited about that. He's quick. He can get to the quarterback. Good tackler. He's really good at everything. Maybe coverage he could work on a little bit, but hey, shout out to Frankie Louvu, who has been balling out for the Washington Commanders in training camp so far, and he's the defender that I would say has been the best so far, or at least not maybe the best, but the guy that has been in the most headlines. I guess we'll wait for the honorable mentions till later. Another guy is Mitchell Tinsley. I wanted to do a sleeper guy, so we'll go Mitchell Tinsley. He broke a defender's ankles in 1-on-1s, and she said I won't say who. I don't think this was Nikki's intention, but I think you should say who it is, because then you got all of these people in the comment section below speculating on who it is, and everyone thought it was Forbes, and she said it wasn't. But I feel like you got to say who it is. That's your job. I'm not telling her how to do her job, but again, if you don't say who it is, you're gonna have people speculating, and then you might get some players that see this tweet and be looking at the comments and be like, why is everyone saying that I got cooked when it was whatever so and so. I think if I remember correctly, someone there said it was number 36 or 37. I think they couldn't remember exactly who, but it was one of those two guys who Mitchell Tinsley, broke their ankles. It makes sense because Forbes runs with the 1s. Mitchell's been with the 2s and 3s. But Mitchell overall has had a pretty good camp. Have heard him multiple times making some big plays. So, hey, that's good. And this was one play. He's been making some big catches as well. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Just going through some clips. Just see, because everything from today is going to be that play. But here's him making a pretty nice catch. It's obviously no one's covering him, but still a nice catch to make there. Shows off his talent. He's had some good days. And that's kind of what I would say the top 5 for me. I'll name some other guys that have definitely impressed a little bit. Quan Martin's been running exclusively with the 1s. And he's been making some, not a lot of plays, but you haven't heard his name a lot, which is good. That means he's not getting beat a lot, and he's running with the 1, so that's good. Another guy that's been pretty good, I would say, is, Mike Sanders. Still, last couple of days, we've heard some good things about him. Some forced fumbles. I've almost had an interception today. Not sure which quarterback, but he was going up against Jameson Crowder, and Dan Quinn's praised him, said he's going to probably be their starting slot cornerback, or nickel cornerback, whatever you want to call it. So that is big news right there. Jeremy Chinn's been solid. The defensive lineman like usual, have been solid. And then besides that, I mean, Sam Cosmi, we've heard good things about him. Besides that, like no one that's really stood out for the Washington Commanders. If I didn't mention it, Casimir Allen, he's been making some plays. Davion Davis as well at receiver. When I was there, Crowder was doing pretty well. So I would say those guys right there are kind of my standouts, my honorable mentions after the 5 studs that I mentioned. And maybe I'll make a video on guys that have struggled, but I don't want to be that, pessimistic. And we're getting into joint practice this week and preseason. So a lot of stuff to talk about. But if you guys stay till the end, go ahead and comment down below. Jimmy Moreland, fan favorite out of JMU, drafted in 2019 by the Redskins, had a solid rookie year and then fizzled out, but a lot of people liked him. And yeah, shout out to Jimmy Moreland, and make sure you guys check out BetUS, link in the description, and will be the pinned comment. Peace, guys.